Today we want to talk about what immigration is, what it means to you, what you experienced in your own immigration process. How would you define your own migration? Where, when, and for what purpose did you migrate? Can you briefly talk about it?
Hello, my name is Yasin Onur Albayrak. I was born and raised in Libya, lived my whole life there for 18 years. I migrated to Turkey in 2020, I believe. I came here for my education. I was aiming to go to Europe, but circumstances had me come here. I'm half Turkish, half Libyan, so yeah, it seemed like the best option at the time.
So, what is migration for you?
I think migration is a natural process that all animals go through. Of course, some animals don't, but migration is natural, and I think humans should migrate every few generations. I think it's abnormal to stay in the same place for an extremely long period of time, despite the importance of community. Families should grow out, is what I believe.
Is this migration mandatory or voluntarily for you?
It was a mixture of both. I would have had a better education here regardless, and I didn't have enough Arabic to study in university in Libya. Even though there are English-speaking universities, it was just better in general to come here. It's better as a student to live here too. But there were push factors beyond that too, like, you know, with the war and everything going on, like I would have stayed, but it got a little more dangerous because I lived in a Turkish workers compound and we would regularly get raided, especially because of Turkey's involvement in the war. We were seen as aliens, so there was a lot of discrimination on that end.
Where do you feel you belong?
Well, I don't know. Living there, I'd always be called a Turk in university. I mean, in high school. Here, I'm called a Libyan. So I'm in between, to be honest. But I belong to both regions in different ways.
Do you vote in the country you immigrated to?
Yes, I do vote. I do take into consideration the fact that I'm an immigrant. But in the end of the day, I was born and raised in Libya, you know, that's important. And I am a Turk. I'm not a Libyan citizen, so I do have the right to vote here. Especially as a political science student, I've changed my political leanings a lot. In the recent elections for the presidency, I really struggled in voting for the CHP because of their political views in the last leg of the runoffs. But yeah, I do vote.
You mentioned that you are called a Turk in Libya and a Libyan in Turkey. How does this categorization make you feel? Did it have any effect on the adaptation or socialization process? And if so, how?
Well, it has affected me being called those names. I think that there was some racial bias behind being called a Libyan and a Turk, you know, because both countries don't have the best views on Turks and Arabs, you know. And I have felt alienated in the past because of that. But in terms of it affecting my migration process, I have felt a little bit of shame in not being well versed in my Libyan background. And the same goes for my Turkish background. But yeah, it hasn't been that important, but it has shaped my background as a character quite a bit, and my political views too.
Dear Yasin, thank you for all your answers and valuable experiences. I wish you a nice day.
Thank you, the pleasure was all mine. Have a nice day and good luck with the project.
First of all, we are very happy that you are here with us today, and thank you very much. Today, we want to talk about what immigration is, what it means to you, what you experienced in your own immigration process. If you are ready, let's start. How would you define your own migration? Where, when, and for what purpose did you migrate? Can you briefly talk about it?
Hello, my name is Abdul Sattar, and today I'm gonna talk about my migration experiences with Barish. So, I traveled actually from Dubai I was born in actually Pakistan. Uh, I am from Afghanistan. I currently live in Turkey. In some ways, I do not consider myself as a migrant in this country because I'm also holding a citizenship. But uh, as cultures go, there's also different, you know, sections of society which you can say that differs from each other. And there is an understanding that if you are not born here or something like that, it makes you kind of want to, not makes you want to, but like makes the divide between who's a migrant and who's not. Regardless, as I've, in my experience of living in Turkey, I could say that that is prominent, something prominent in Turkey. So the purpose of my migration from all these countries has always been about safety, security, and future guarantee. So,
Okay, Abdul, is it difficult to leave the areas where you spent your years?
in my experience, I would say yes. It is very difficult, but it's not something that is not achievable. For me, the point of migration has always been safety and security of my future. So, for the bigger purpose of life, I had to migrate from one country to another.
Is this migration mandatory or arbitrary for you?
As I've mentioned, my migration has always been about my safety and security and my guarantee about the future. So it has always been mandatory, and there has been nothing arbitrary about it. The reason for my mandatory migration from Dubai to Turkey has been the reason of security of my future. As I have applied for the citizenship of Turkey, it has been somewhat more guaranteed in my future.
So, Abdul, where do you feel you belong?
It's a very deep question for me because let's be honest, I'm from Afghanistan, born in Pakistan, lived my most of my life in Dubai, now currently living in Turkey. The sense of belonging is for me is gone. I don't think I belong anywhere, as I consider myself an immigrant in this whole world, not belonging to any specific country. Uh, it is something that my father used to say that every time he would travel from one country to another, and he would be like, "Ah, I'm just a tourist in this world, not just in this country."
Abdul, thank you so much. Thank you for all your answers and valuable experiences. We wish you have a nice day. Yes, we are with Manal Hassan right now. First of all, thank you very much, Manal. And hello again. First of all, how would you define your own migration? Where, when, and for what purpose did you migrate? Can you briefly talk about it?
Okay, so I migrated to Turkey for university. It's temporary, but I did it 3 years ago. I got here 3 years ago, and it was to pursue my education. And yeah, it's been a good experience so far. Did I miss anything? Okay.
So I wanted to ask this. What is migration for you?
For me, specifically, migration is just living in any country that isn't yours for a long period of time. It's obviously longer than like a trip, but I think it can mean a lot of different things. Like for a lot of people, it is permanent. For a lot of people, it is absolutely necessary if their own country's conditions aren't good. But yeah, for me, it's pretty good. It's just for university for a little while. Yeah.
Do you think that the region you immigrated to will improve your life?
Definitely, it already has, in the way that I've learned so many new things about culture, about language. Like I've learned the Turkish language, which has been such a big like asset to my life because I can communicate with a whole different country now. And besides that, I feel like immigrating like here, it forced me to grow so much in like so many different ways because you're put into these different scenarios where you have to just like do things that you wouldn't typically do in your comfort zone in your own country. So yeah, I feel like it's definitely added a lot of value to my life in that sense.
So, was it difficult for you to be a woman during your migration process? Have you experienced any discrimination or discrimination regarding your gender during this process?
That's an interesting question. I can't say I have, honestly. I feel like it would be different for a different situation, maybe, but in Turkey and for education, I don't think I've experienced any gender based discrimination. I don't think so. I feel like maybe just like perks because they're nicer to you when you're at the immigration offices. I think so, yeah.
And this is my last question. Where do you feel you belong?
That is a question I could answer for 1 hour because it's the crisis of my life. But I feel like as of now, I feel like I belong here. I've grown up in like multiple different countries, so I can't really. I really don't know where I belong. I think I belong to this world, and that's it. Yeah, just. But right now, Turkey feels like home. For the past 3 years, it's been home. So yeah, yeah.
Manal, thank you for all your answers and valuable experiences. We wish you a nice day.